everyone! Welcome back to English Without Limit. I'm Julia, and I'm truly glad you're here with me today. Before we begin, I want you to take a moment and simply breathe. Yes, take a deep breath in and out. This podcast is a space where you can slow down, feel safe, and learn English in a way that feels calm and kind. This is not a test. You don't need to be perfect. You are here, and that's what matters most. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something that many English learners find difficult. In fact, it's something that even native speakers sometimes struggle with. Can you guess what it is? Yes, grammar. Maybe grammar feels confusing to you. Maybe you've studied rule after rule. And yet when it's time to speak, nothing comes out. Maybe you've read the same grammar explanation 10 times, but it still doesn't feel natural when you talk. Maybe you've even asked yourself, why do I forget grammar when I try to talk? Why do I make mistakes even when I know the rule? If any of that sounds like you, I want you to know you are not alone. Today, I want to help you see grammar in a completely different way. A way that feels simple, a way that feels natural, and most importantly, a way that feels stress-free. Because grammar should not make you feel anxious. Grammar should not make you feel stuck. Grammar is part of the language you love. And I'm here to show you how to connect with it, not as a list of rules, but as something that lives and breathes inside real communication. In this episode, I'll share with you techniques and strategies for learning grammar in the same way we naturally learn language, through real use, through listening, through noticing, through slow, mindful practice. And as always, in this podcast, I speak slowly, clearly, and use simple, natural English so you can understand more, so you can feel relaxed, and so you can actually enjoy the journey of learning. You are here to grow, to feel more confident, to feel more connected, and every time you listen, you are moving forward. English Without Limit is now reaching learners all over the world, from India to Morocco, from Vietnam to Poland, from Sudan to Australia, from Brazil to France and beyond. Wherever you are listening from, you are a part of this growing learning family. And I am so deeply happy that you're here with me today. Now, let's begin with a simple, powerful question. What is grammar? Grammar is the system of a language. It's the structure, the framework, the rules that help us know how to use words. It tells us how to build sentences. It helps us put words in the right order. It guides how we express tense, time, action, and feeling. When you speak English, grammar is what tells you how to begin a sentence, how to ask a question, and how to express something that happened yesterday or something that might happen tomorrow. But here's something important. Grammar is not just about rules. It's also about patterns. It's about rhythm. It's about repetition. A pattern is something that repeats. And when you hear English again and again, your brain starts to recognize those patterns. You begin to feel what sounds right even before you can explain the rule. Think about songs. Think about rhythm. That's what grammar becomes. When you experience it naturally, the more you listen to English, the clearer those patterns become. The more you repeat them, the more your mouth starts to remember them. And here's something that's really important to say. Let's be honest. Grammar often feels hard. It feels confusing. It feels frustrating. And sometimes, let's be real, it feels impossible. And you know what? That's okay. It's completely okay. You're not the only one who feels this way. Millions of learners around the world feel the same. But here's the truth, my friend. It's not your fault. The way grammar is often taught makes it harder than it needs to be. Many learners are told to study grammar rules, read big textbooks, take notes, memorize forms, do worksheets, learn the names of every tense, remember exceptions, and follow charts. So, what do? You try. You try really hard. You buy books, you watch videos, you highlight examples, you make lists, you repeat explanations, you go back and read them again and again. But when it's time to speak, you pause, you hesitate, you freeze, you feel nervous, you forget the rule, you question yourself, was it has or have? Do I need a need? Is this past perfect or just past? And suddenly, your brain is full, but your mouth is quiet. And that moment feels frustrating. It feels discouraging. So why does this happen? Why does grammar feel so hard to use in real conversation? Here's why. Most grammar learning is too fast and too much at once. You're given too many rules. Rules with exceptions. Rules that seem to contradict each other. Rules that require you to memorize charts and labels. And then, you're expected to remember it all and use it perfectly in real-time conversations. But language isn't just about remembering rules. Language is about feeling, about flow, about expression. Grammar isn't just information. It's a skill. It's something you develop with practice. Just like playing music, just like cooking, just like learning to ride a bicycle. You don't become good at it by reading about it once. You become good at it by doing it, again and again. So today, we're going to shift how you see grammar. Not as a test, not as a pressure, but as a set of patterns you can grow into slowly, gently, naturally. And we're going to take that journey together. Are you ready? Let's keep going. You've got this, and I'm right here with you. Let me explain this in a deeper way. Imagine for a moment that you want to learn how to drive a car. Now, think about what that actually means. You can start by reading a book about how the engine works. You can study all the buttons on the dashboard. You can memorize every traffic sign on the road. You might even watch a few YouTube videos about steering techniques or how to parallel park. That's good information. It's useful. But here's the truth. It doesn't mean you can actually drive. To really drive, you need to get inside the car. You need to feel the wheel in your hands. You need to press the pedals. You need to turn, reverse, stop, and start. You need to go out into real traffic, hear the sounds, make decisions, feel a little nervous, maybe even make a few mistakes. And then you try again and again. And little by little, you start to feel comfortable. You're not just remembering information. You're developing a real skill, a skill your body remembers. Your hands remember. Your eyes and ears work together with your mind. Now let's bring that back to grammar. Grammar is exactly the same. You can read grammar rules all day. You can learn the definition of the present perfect. You can study sentence structure, tenses, conditionals, and passive voice. But when it's time to speak, when you're in a real conversation, your brain might freeze. You pause. You hesitate, you doubt yourself. You think, wait, is it has or have? Or should I say, I did or I have done? And that moment of doubt, that moment of overthinking, takes away your flow. It takes away your confidence. You feel stuck. Even though you know the rule in your head, your mouth can't say the sentence. Why? Because your brain has the information, but your body hasn't practiced it. Your ears haven't heard it enough. Your voice hasn't spoken it enough. Your muscles, your rhythm, your flow, they're not used to it yet. That's the difference between knowing grammar and using grammar. Let me say it again. Grammar is not just knowledge, it's a skill. And skills are built through experience, through repetition, through gentle, patient practice. Real learning happens when your whole body is involved, when your brain understands yes, but also when your ears are hearing the grammar in real context, when your mouth is speaking it naturally, when your feelings are relaxed and confident, when it becomes part of who you are, not just something you studied once. And my friend, that takes time. It takes patience. It takes practice. And that's perfectly okay. You don't need to know every grammar rule. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to go fast. What you need is a different approach. You need to go slowly. You need to go step by step. You need to learn in a way that feels calm, human, and natural. Because grammar is not a race. It's a journey. It's a path where every step counts, even the small ones. And the more you slow down, the more you notice, the more you practice, the more confident you will become. Now, let's talk about what usually happens to most learners. Instead of going slowly, many learners try to do everything at once. One day they study the present tense. The next day, the past perfect. Then they move on to future continuous, then conditionals, then passive voice, and so on. It's like trying to climb a mountain that never ends. You take one step, then another, and suddenly you feel exhausted. It's overwhelming, and soon you feel lost. That's not your fault. It's the method. Let's change the method. Let's imagine grammar is like building a house. You don't build a house in one day. You don't put up the roof before the foundation is ready. You don't install the windows before the walls exist. You start with the ground. You lay the bricks one by one. You build the walls piece by piece. You add the roof, then the windows, then the paint, then the furniture. Each part takes time. Each part needs care. Each part builds on the one before. And if you try to do it all in one day, the house will fall apart. Your energy will fall apart. Your motivation will disappear. It's the same with grammar. Start small. Pick just one point, one tiny grammar structure. Maybe it's how to use there is and there are. Maybe it's how to ask yes or no questions. Maybe it's how to say something in the past. Choose that one point. Stay with it. Play with it. Breathe with it. Live with it. Let it become familiar. Let it become easy. And when it feels easy, then you move on. Not before. So now, let's continue together. You've chosen your one small point. Great. What next? There are 3 powerful things you can do to truly own that grammar point. First, notice it. Notice how that grammar point is used in the world around you. Listen to podcasts like English Without Limit. Watch videos, read short articles, or even subtitles. And when you see or hear that grammar point, pause. Notice it. Recognize it. Say, ah, there it is. Second, practice it. Write a few sentences with it. Say them out loud. Say them in the morning. Say them before you sleep. Say them while cooking dinner. Talk to yourself. Yes, it's okay. Practice it like a song. Let it become a part of your rhythm. Third, repeat it. The more you repeat, the more it becomes a natural part of your speech. You won't need to stop and think. You'll just say it because it feels right, because you've heard it, said it, lived with it. And yes, mistakes will happen. That's a good thing. It means you're growing. It means you're trying. What matters is not being fast. What matters is making a real connection between grammar and life, between grammar and meaning, between grammar and real communication. And that connection happens when you go slowly, because when you learn slowly, you learn deeply. You don't just remember the grammar, you feel it, you use it, naturally, comfortably. You don't feel pressure, you don't feel behind, you don't feel like you're failing, you feel calm, you feel steady, you feel like you're growing at your own pace. And over time, something beautiful happens. The grammar becomes part of your voice. You don't need to ask, "What's the rule?" You don't need to check your notes. You just speak, not because you memorized it, but because you lived with it. Because you let it become part of your natural expression. That, my friend, is the power of slow, mindful learning. And it works. So take one small step, one day, one grammar point, and begin. This is the way to lasting fluency. This is how you build confidence. This is the journey we're taking together here on English Without Limit.